I think having a store in the neighborhood, you know, everyone comes to you, and you promote things that you can help with. So anything to do with the arts, we would help whatever way we could. But the Jasper Place Gateway Foundation, that was unique. All the, back then it was called BRZs, were starting to happen in a lot of the major neighborhoods. And at that time, a whole group of us had gotten together saying, we don't want to be taxed more. Let's see if we can do this ourselves and do it through volunteering and through gifts and things like that, or writing grants or something like that. So for about 10 years, we had a very vibrant organization that brought positive change to the Stony Plain Road and area, which is now the BIA. It was a lot of work, a lot of man hours, but the things that we developed, personally, I was involved in the special events. So we had a Pastels on Pavement festival that ran for 7-8 years on the parking lot of Grant MacEwan College. We had it every year.
What was that?
It was, people would register at all ages, and they were given a 3-foot by 5-foot space on the parking lot. We would use chalk, and then we supplied them all with the chalk, with a kneeling mat, and other businesses would sponsor with gifts for prizes. We would get judges from our city councilors and you know, people of influence in the area, or like artists that were well known. They would be the judges. And we had face painting and crafts, and they had the whole, you know, a certain amount of time to be able to create masterpieces on the pavements. And they did great. We'd have 150 people all sitting doing artwork. It was great. So that was one of the festivals that we put on. Another one was called the Dirt Buster Derby, and that was a race between north side of Stony Plain to south side of Stony Plain. And we started at 170th Street, and whoever showed up had a broom or something to be able to help clean the sidewalks. So this is just after the snow had all melted, and there's so much gravel and stuff on the sidewalks that we wanted it all on the road, so that when the street cleaners could come and clean up. And so we would let them know that we were having this race. And we basically swept the sidewalks all the way to Safeway when that was open. And we would, it was a good workout. But it was a good race too. And we had a trophy that had brooms and shovels sticking in it, and then we were involved with Halloween Alley, and there's a family that lived on Halloween Alley that actually had a hearse. So we put, instead of Ghostbusters on the hearse, we did Dustbusters, like magnetics on the hearse, and so they put music and speakers, so it would blast out while everybody was doing it. And we would encourage, as we were going, we were encouraging the shop owners to come out and help sweep in front of their place of business. And yeah, we must have had probably 60 people come out for that, so 30 per side kind of thing. Yeah, it was a real race. You know, one side wanted to win. You know, it was good. And then afterwards, we'd all meet in one of the restaurants that were there, and we'd have our celebratory lunch.
Did you have murals?
Yes. We in front of the Telus building, just across from Ben's Meat Market. That was sponsored by a Rotary Club. And that they had a lot of the Rotary members come out and help us with that. There's the Wap May mural on what used to be the ATB. Yeah, that was sponsored through the Gateway Foundation. The two murals that I have on my building, one has a licorice all sorts and the Canadian coins. That was sponsored through the Jasper Place Gateway Foundation. And we did wonderful activities. We held summer camps for computer kids that in the area that didn't have access to computers back then. And we set up stations where people had access, public access to computers. So my store held 3 computers, and there was like 4 or 5 other places in the neighborhood that had that same thing. So everything was to bring improvement to the area. We got involved with the youth group through West Lawn School. I'm trying to remember. CIAs, we called them. Involved adolescents, community involved adolescents. And they planned some great events. And again, we would help out as much as we could and stuff like that. So yeah, it was even just getting like treasure hunts around the area, getting people to realize what is in their own neighborhood and then having nice prizes afterwards. And, you know, there's only one parking meter in this area, and it was inside Revolution Cycle. so things like that people, there's no other parking meters. Back then, there was no other parking meters. I don't think there's too many still. So
You did publish Gateway West.
Yeah, that was ongoing.
A newsletter, a community newsletter.
Newsletter. Yeah, to let people know about the events that we were planning and to encourage them to come out and do things. And yeah.